Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Grand rising to those who speak that language. Happy New Day for those who speak that language. I am bilingual, trilingual, but don't try me. But anyway, welcome to Ashe Healing. This is where we incorporate a sensual experience to our healing. I am Aaminah Sai. I am going to work on my intros, but in just I coach others how to heal through energy, touch, and conscious connections. My vision is to help people utilize their sensual energy to heal themselves and others, right? Um, this is going to be like a new series. I haven't quite used my teachings to create content, and that's what we're going to do today, right? And let me tell you something. I know energy healing is like this new trendy topic. It's been on trend. A lot of people are making a lot of money off of it. And it sounds like the new to do. However, those of us who have been in the energy healing work and practice, as well as understand energy, also sees some of the dangers and the mishaps that are happening, especially to our community, under the guise of those who say that they practice energy. And for a while, I wanted to just be quiet because we are in a culture who is not accepting to truth, right? So we are working past those feelings and those thoughts, and we are just going to do what is right, and we're going to give the information, we're going to inform, and we're going to educate, right? I got my ancestors with me, saying that my knowledge on the other side, as well as some life wisdom, and we're going to share that today. So I like this to be an interactive um, type of deal. So never hesitate to ask any question. When it comes down to energy healing, there is no dumb or crazy question if you if your intent is to get the information, right? I know we have a lot of bots, and people think it is cool to hate, and people think it is cool to try to disrupt things. And we're going to talk about all of that and the energy that is behind that later. But for today, let's just get into what energy is, right? So, energy can be called by many names, right? The energy within us we call a soul. The energy that is outside of us and above us we may call God or universe or spirit. We have the energy of our ancestors, so we call it ancestral, right? The energy of the trees, we call it breath. And and everything that has life, there's an energy. So never think that energy is just only reserved for the human. It is not, right? Just as much as I'm using energy to speak into this microphone and it's doing its own little thing to be able to convert it into, the computer in which I'm recording it on, there's an energy transfer in it all. So when we talk about energy and we got some of the, well, what is it? We also want to understand the law of energy, right? A lot of people think that they could just create energy out of the air or destroy energy, but the law of energy states that it is neither created or destroyed. It is just transferred. It is transferred. All right. So let's take a moment to think about that. In school, in science, I used to love my science class, right? We used to talk about the three states of matter, right? We can take some water, we can freeze it, and it can become ice. It'll be more solid, right? If we boil that same water, it can turn into a gas and evaporate. Did the water disappear? No, it just transformed and is now transferred into a different structure, molecular structure that may not be seen, but it can also be felt. We feel that here in Florida when the heat rises on the water and the humidity, right? There's an energy of that. So when we're talking about energy, I want you to think about there are different states of energy. The unseen energy within us can be like a thought or a feeling, right? But then when we bottle that feeling and that thought up, it can create, it can materialize and it can create growth or blocks or pains within the body. When we transfer the energy out, we can give it to a person, water or things, we pray and we give life into things. So that's a broad thing. And I know I have a habit of just giving a little bit more information, but I want you to just to imagine how energy flows, right? Energy is consistently flowing through you or constantly flowing through you and out of you. Even when we speak to others and their ability to receive the energy, can they feel the happiness? Can they feel the love? Can they feel the anger off of you? This is how energy is transferred back and forth, right? So when we get the gist of what energy is, and then the fact that it's always transferred, now we got to think about how, why, where, and things like that. And we're not going to get totally into that right now, but let me just break down what I do, right? So you hear me say at the intro that I deal with sensual energy, and a lot of people misunderstand what sensual energy is. They think that sensual is only reserved to sex, and it's not. Senses or sensual broken down just means of the body and the senses. So when I say that I use sensual energy to heal, I am using the body and my senses all together to be able to formulate a plan of healing for myself or a client or a student or a recipient at the time, right? So when we talk about sensual healing, that's what we're talking about, to give you context about the kind of content that I'm going to do, right? So I'm going to give you just this one tip today, or this one little educational piece. I feel like it's a lot already, right? When we talk about energy and we talk about sensual energy, let's talk about how we can take note or acknowledge the type of energy that is around us. When we know that it is transferable, we have to understand that it can also be entrained, right? So let's break down entrainment. Entrainment simply, in the simple terms, just means syncing up with or adjusting to a behavior or energy with another, right? To put it into context, how do you feel when you're with another person, when you're with a lover? You know, um, you can feel anxious, you can feel warm and tingly, you could feel energetic, but through the time that we spend with each other, there are certain adjustments that we make. And through the adjustments, we can inherit some of the characteristics, right? This is a very important thing to think of because I'm starting to see this in the world and how we are adjusting to different characteristics, right? When we are training, women understand entrainment through our menstrual cycles, right? If we are around each other enough or long enough, our menstrual cycles, our moon cycles start to sync up, right? That's entrainment, right? When we get ourselves involved in a certain culture, we adapt the culture characteristics of that community, and we are adjusting our minds and our thoughts and some of our behaviors. That is entrainment, right? So we're going to leave on a note on entrainment because I want you to now have some homework. I deal with, there is information, right? I didn't have any slides, so your visual is going to be me, but there's a kinesthetic approach to learning as well. So to put this into play, to leave you with how to test your energy for this week, right? There are scenes that I want you to put yourself in to feel how you feel, right? So we're going to use the homework of entrainment. All I want you to do is put on one of your favorite songs, right? And notice how you move with the song. If you're very rhythmic and on rhythm, You're going to see that you're not going to move outside of the beats, outside of the flow of the song. Entrainment. That's what entrainment is, right? And I know some of us who are really big on rhythm, the moment that we feel ourselves misstepping, whatever, we try to adjust back, right? That's what entrainment is. So that's your homework. Just play some music and watch how you flow with it, right? You can do another assignment. Go outside in nature. Like right now, I hear the cicadas outside doing their thing. It's sunny, it's warm, or whatever. Do you feel at peace, right? Do you calm down and listen to the rhythm of the bugs or the rhythm of the, I want to say the rhythm of the heat? So bad. But notice how you feel in different environments is what I want you to know, to take note of this week. Also, for a bonus, the communities that you have yourself within, what are the characteristics, the mindsets, the behaviors, and what have you adjusted to? All right. Always feel free to ask me a question. You can shoot me a DM. You can email me. You can write a comment in there. Hey, I need a little help in understanding this because I know I speak a certain language and my job is to make sure that you understand it before we move on to the next. So we done talked about energy. We understand what sensual energy is. It's just using your body and your senses. And then we understand what entrainment is, which is adjusting to the energy or the behaviors of a thing or people, right? And syncing up with that because we're going to use that in future presentations to be able to create the healing that is for you, right? So, love you. I mean it. Go practice, implement the things that we are talking about because that's how you're going to learn the energy healing or the healing that is needed for you. All right. Peace and love. Till next time.